wins against anyone, not just in the derby. That's quite clear. But I think today we were very unfortunate that we couldn't collect the 3 points. What is clear that we got a performance that could allow us to go into any derby and make sure that we are competitive and we get the win that we want, and we want to celebrate with our fans.
We deserve to win the game. I think it's just if we kept more composure in our possession in the first half, I think we could have scored more.
Danny, as weeks go, that's not a bad one you've had.
No, it's been great, as you can imagine. Obviously the news of being called up, going into the derby game and getting a goal as well. It's just a shame it wasn't a perfect week with a win today.
So they're the views of those involved in the game. Now, the decision to sack Rodgers was apparently taken before the game at Goodison, and Rodgers himself found out when he got home after the game and was told by Ian Ayre. Maybe, if you watch his post-match interview, he had an inkling of what was coming.
I think what probably maybe is forgotten is that we've lost 4 real catalysts out of this team in the last couple of years, and that's huge for a team like ourselves. So it's been a constant rebuilding here, and this season it's about that as well. So this team, whether it's me, this here's manager, or someone else, will need time because there's lots of new players in, and that's unfortunately how it is.
Let's ask you both. I'm going to start with you, Alan. Do you think he's been hard done by?
Well, no one wants to see a manager being sacked. Let's get that clear from the start. But the bar was set when the owners sacked Kenny Dalglish for finishing 8th, getting to 2 cup finals and winning one of them. So that's what Brendan Rodgers had to improve on. So that's what he took over. So from there to now, I don't really see much progression. As tough as it is, with the money that has been spent, one of Brendan's first things when he went into Liverpool was he talked about a philosophy, which I know many people were slightly confused about that. And looking from the outside now, that a philosophy for Liverpool is, I don't see an identity. I don't see people can see who their best players are, what the plan is, what their best system is. So from that point of view, I was pretty confused.
Hard done by?
No, I don't think so. After the 3 years, and like I was saying about the philosophy, Liverpool's philosophy was pass and move, and what more do you need than that? And building from the back, the defence. And I think that as much as people talk about is the Suarez season, I think you've got to talk about the amount of goals that they've conceded and how they've defended. Even the players that he's brought in have not really made much difference. And we're talking about somebody who's lauded out as the new generation of this new age coach. And for me, I just think that in that respect, I don't think...
I also think from the beginning of the season with his 2 coaches gone, I do think he was a dead man walking. As soon as he's going to have a bad run, the inevitable, I think, was going to happen.
Right, you've both talked about recruitment, you've both talked about the money he spent. He himself said in that interview, it feels like it's been a constant rebuilding process. His net spend over the 3 and a bit years now that he's been in charge is 106 million, which actually only equates at 25 million a season, roughly. But I suppose when you look at his big money signings, that's where they haven't come off for it.
It's been a massive turnover of players constantly with Liverpool, but when you look at that list for the amount that has been spent, and you look at that list, then I'm afraid those players really haven't helped Brendan a lot, have they?
So it's their fault.
There's
it's not Brendan's fault.
It's recruitment. Me and you, and we spoke this morning with Paul Lambert on Match of the Day Extra. That recruitment is probably the hardest part of the job, and Brendan, to be fair, has had to do a hell of a lot of that. But the players that have been recruited, whether that's the committee's fault, I mean, no one really understands that committee business at Liverpool.
That committee
hasn't helped him.
That committee or that perception of a committee hasn't helped him.
Well, wasn't he on it? I've heard that he was on the committee.
Well, yeah.
So I don't know. He's got to be. He's got to take some of the blame and the flack with that, because he was on that committee. You know, he said he didn't want Balotelli a week before, and then Balotelli was signed. Has he got to say or hasn't he got to say? I don't know what's going on with their committee. At the end of the day, like I said, look, the players that he's brought in, even with the defence, I can't understand why Agger went. He fell out with Agger, but the defence has not improved, not at all.
Does the next manager have to make sure that he is the main man, that everything that goes on at that football club is done through him and buy him. And you can see who is odds-on favourite in Jurgen Klopp.
Well, the two guys at the top of that obviously are available, and they're available now. But I would be pretty certain that the first question they would ask was, or demand, would be transfers. Who's in charge? Who's in charge of players coming and who's in charge of players going?
He still gave them that amazing season in Rodgers. I am partly playing devil's advocate, but he gave Liverpool fans an amazing season when they nearly won the title.
Yeah, but then you're talking about Suarez, Sterling just coming through flying, Sturridge was flying, Gerrard was still there, Coutinho was starting to kick in. All he needed to work on was the defence because that team could take care of itself. You can't. You could take, a load of managers could go in and do stuff with that team and they finished it. I'm not going to take that away from him, but I think that Suarez and those players was what done it. His job was to make sure they didn't concede the goals for them to win that league, and he didn't do that.
We shouldn't forget there was a game of football. Football played. This is a very long time ago. And you want to praise Romelu Lukaku?
Well, I like him. I like him when he gets his angry head on. I like him when he's big and strong and aggressive. When he wants to play.